Welcome, history seekers. We will uncover the truth behind a lost, legendary wonder. The breathtaking Hanging Gardens have always stood as a grand masterpiece of the ancient world. What if this magnificent green paradise never truly existed in the city of Babylon? For centuries, archaeologists dug through endless desert sands without finding even a single trace. Prepare yourselves to witness one of the most shocking geographical lies in human history. In the scorching heat of the 6th century, the Neo-Babylonian Empire ruled the vast plains. King Nebuchadnezzar II reigned with an iron fist over his wealthy and grand capital.
It comes with our highest regards.
His absolute power demanded strict obedience, while fear kept the conquered nations quietly in line. To secure a vital political alliance, the mighty king married the young Media princess Amytis. This diplomatic union brought peace to the realm but endless sorrow to the heart of the new queen. Babylon was a flat desert, a harsh contrast to the lush green mountain ranges of her childhood. Trapped within massive walls of baked mud bricks, the beautiful queen slowly withered away in deep grief. She missed the cool summer winds and tall cedar trees that beautifully covered her distant, peaceful home. Seeing his beloved wife in deep despair, the powerful king made an incredibly arrogant choice. He would forcefully bend nature to his will and carefully bring a living mountain into the dry sand. Thousands of war captives and weary slaves were immediately ordered to begin this impossible task. The ancient laws of Mesopotamia were famously brutal to anyone who dared to fail their stern ruler. A tiny mistake on the royal construction site could easily result in severe punishment or instant death. The king demanded perfection, commanding his chief architects to solve the greatest engineering puzzle. How could a massive artificial mountain be safely built on top of a highly fragile mud brick palace? Building a garden in the sky required moving thousands of tons of heavy dirt and giant limestone rocks. Every single day, the scorching sun beat down endlessly on the tired, bleeding backs of the poor workers. If you held the power to bend nature for love, would you sacrifice countless lives to achieve it? The grand royal vision was finally taking shape, but water remained the most dangerous enemy of the bricks. Ordinary mud structures would quickly turn into soft clay and completely collapse under constant watering. To conquer the moisture, the desperate architects developed an ingenious waterproofing technique. They gathered thousands of thick reeds and heavily coated them in boiling hot black tar or sticky bitumen. Workers laid these sticky layers over the roof, covering them completely with massive sheets of heavy lead. This impenetrable metal barrier finally stopped the destructive tree roots from crushing the palace halls. But the ultimate challenge was pumping enough water to keep the exotic mountain forests fully alive. It required bringing tens of thousands of gallons from the Euphrates River up 20 meters high. Historians believe they used a primitive version of the famous Archimedes screw made of solid bronze. Covered in thick mud and black tar, slaves tirelessly pushed the heavy wooden beams all day and all night long. The heavy machinery loudly groaned under the intense pressure as the fresh water slowly spiraled upward. Ancient texts remind us that this glorious society operated under extremely brutal governing rules. Under the strict code of Hammurabi, a slight technical failure always carried a heavy and bloody price. If a supporting pillar collapsed, the responsible builder would be immediately executed without a trial. Even a royal surgeon who accidentally killed a patient during surgery would have his hands firmly cut off. This underlying fear of terrible punishment heavily fueled the rapid rise of this stunning green paradise. Finally, Queen Amytis could happily wander through the shady groves and smell the sweet mountain flowers. The artificial mountain featured cascading waterfalls and towering green trees reaching towards the heavens. Ancient Greek historians wrote beautiful praises about the hanging terraces overflowing with exotic life. Writers like Strabo and Diodorus painted an unforgettable picture of this majestic desert miracle. The Babylonian garden legend was firmly cemented in the rich pages of human history forever. Yet, beneath this romantic tale lies a dark archaeological mystery that has baffled experts for ages. Fast forward to the modern era, where teams of eager archaeologists descended upon the ruined ancient city. They dug through the dusty plains of Iraq, desperately hoping to find the legendary foundation stones. Decades of intense excavation slowly revealed the glorious royal palace and the massive, bright Ishtar Gate. But the grand hanging gardens remained completely invisible, leaving researchers entirely empty-handed. King Nebuchadnezzar left behind thousands of detailed clay records describing his glorious achievements. He proudly documented every single temple, paved street, and defensive wall he built for his great city. Curiously, not a single surviving Babylonian tablet ever mentions a massive garden floating in the sky. Why would a proud king intentionally ignore the most magnificent engineering marvel of his entire reign? Furthermore, scholars discovered that the ancient Greek writers never actually visited Babylon themselves. They recorded wild rumors and secondhand stories passed down from traveling soldiers and wealthy merchants. The broken physical evidence simply did not match the beautiful descriptions found in the classical texts. For many frustrated experts, the mysterious grand gardens became nothing more than a wonderful ancient myth. Have you ever wondered how many accepted historical facts are just beautifully written ancient lies? The scientific community was stuck until a brilliant researcher decided to read the ancient stones again. Dr. Stephanie Daly from Oxford University began re-examining the old cuneiform translations. She studied dusty clay prisms that had been completely ignored in museum storage for many long decades. Deep within these complex ancient symbols, she uncovered a completely different and highly shocking narrative. The Greek historians had made a colossal geographical mistake when writing about the grand Eastern empires. The ancient Greeks used the word Babylon loosely to describe the entire mighty Mesopotamian region. The true location of the wonder was hiding hundreds of miles away in a completely different ancient city. The secret was hiding in the mighty Assyrian capital of Nineveh, located along the flowing Tigris River. Exactly 100 years before Nebuchadnezzar, the ruthless Assyrian king Sennacherib ruled the land. Although history remembers him as a bloody conqueror, he was also a brilliant and ambitious architect. On a beautifully preserved clay prism, King Sennacherib proudly described his magnificent new royal palace. He boasted about building a massive green garden that stood exactly like the rugged mountains of the north. The text explicitly mentions high terraces planted with every conceivable tree and exotic sweet flower. To water this incredible paradise, the Assyrian king constructed an unbelievable network of stone canals. His dedicated stone masons carved massive aqueducts stretching over 50 miles across the rough, deep valleys. Modern satellite images clearly confirm the hidden remains of this massive ancient water supply system. Even the bronze water screws were mentioned in his old records, long before the Greeks ever claimed them. The true hanging gardens belonged to the fierce Assyrians, not the romantic Babylonian royal lovers. Sennacherib's grand masterpiece was eventually destroyed when invading armies burned Nineveh to the ground. The roaring flames erased the physical beauty, but the majestic memory survived in the deep minds of men. As centuries passed, the Assyrian garden stories slowly merged with the glorious fame of ancient Babylon. The Greek writers accidentally combined two distinct powerful empires into one giant, beautiful legend. This incredible discovery teaches us a profound lesson about the fragile nature of recorded human memory. We must question the old pages of the past and dig deeper for the hidden archaeological truth. A romantic tale of a homesick queen easily overshadowed the bloody legacy of a cruel Assyrian tyrant. The lost green wonder of the ancient world has finally been reclaimed from the deep, dark shadows of time. It stands today as a brilliant testament to the complex and often deceptive nature of early human history. The magnificent hanging paradise was real, but history gave credit to the completely wrong ancient man. The mighty king Sennacherib can finally rest, knowing his greatest architectural triumph has been fully found. The Babylon myth proves how easily history can manipulate our understanding. Does the ruthless king Sennacherib deserve true credit for this wonder? Tell us below. If you enjoyed this historical mystery, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel today.